Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya
Acharya
Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Vunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Mavidvishwavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we'll continue with where we left off. So we are on topic number 75. Karmendriyani vakpani padapayu upasthakyani.
Karmendriyani vakpani padapayu upasthakyani.
Okay, so now we have finished in the last class with the Jnanendriyas, and now Karmendriyas are being defined. Why the Karmendriyas being defined just now? Because the next kosha is Pranamaya kosha, which includes all the Karmendriyas. And therefore he says, Akhyani. If you look at the word Upasthakyani, you have to connect the Akhyani to Karmendriyani. Karmendriyani Akhyani means Karmendriyas. These are called the Karmendriyas. Which are called the Karmendriyas? Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upasthaha. So Vak is the tongue, the sense organ of taste. Pani is the hands, Pada is the legs, Payu, Upasthaha, the anus and the reproductive system, reproductive organ. See, these organs are called Karmendriyani. That's why Karmendriyani Akhyani. These organs are called Karmendriyani. Note here that the devatas of the Indriyas, each Indriya is a devata. The devata he does not mention, and that is why we should read up from Tattvabodha and bring that forward. Devata should be, to complete our understanding, we should, put over here, each Indriya has the following devata. So that has to be added, bringing it forward from Tattvabodha. I am not getting into that because we have all done Tattvabodha. The next topic will be, how are these Karmendriyas born? So we go to topic number 76 and we will read. Etani punaha akashadinam.
Etani punah akashadinam.
Rajom shabhyo vyastebhyaha.
Rajosebhyo vyastebhyaha.
Prithak prithak krameno utkram. Prithak kramenotpadyante.
Prithak kramenopadhyante.
Okay, so he says, Etani punaha, again, akashadinam rajo amshabhyaha, from the elements like akasha, etc. So etc. implies the other four. Akashadinam rajasic aspect, rajaha amshabhyaha, from the rajasic aspect of the five elements beginning with akasha, etc. And he adds vyastebhyaha. Vyastebhyaha means purely, individually. Right? This individual here is added to rule out the mixture, because mixture will give you a completely different sense organ, and therefore he says from the individual rajasic aspect of the five elements like akasha, etc. Prithak prithak, each individual mahabhutani. So each individual element has to be considered, and kramena utpadyante. Utpadyante means born. Kramena is in sequence. So from these elements, in sequence, are born the Karmendriyas. So what is the sequence? The same order as Akashadinam. So Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Jalam, Prithvi. We cannot interchange the sequence. You cannot make it Akasha, Agni, Vayu, Jalam, Prithvi. Why not? It has to be the same sequences, Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Jalam, Prithvi. You cannot interchange there. Why can you not interchange?
From
Because their
subtle to
properties have come.
and each
So we saw that Tattvabodha carried this sequence only. First is Akasha, then is Vayu, then is Agni, then is Jalam, then is Prithvi. We discussed all this earlier because some of them are specific gunas. Some of them individual gunas are there. Each element has one specific guna, and the rest are general gunas borrowed from the other elements. And therefore, they have to be in a particular order. And therefore, this Vak, Pani, Padu, Payu, Upastaha have to be connected to these elements in the same order. So, Vak to Akasha, the hands, Pani to Vayu, Padaha to Agni, and so on. Each sense organ has to be connected to the individual Mahabhutani. That's what it means. That's why they said, Vesthebhya Kramena Utpadyanti. This from the purely Rajasic aspect of the five elements. In the individual five elements, you have to take the sequence, and the sense organ being born is in the same sequence. Vesthebhya, the word is very important. It is to indicate purity. The element, the Rajasic aspect, the Rajas of the element is pure by itself. It's not mixed with the Sattva of other elements. And that you will see when you come to Antakaranam, you will see mixture is there. So this is just to distinguish that. And why are you talking about Rajaguna here? Because Karmendriyas are all Indriyas where some kind of activity is involved, and therefore Rajaguna is necessary. That's why he says Rajasic, Rajo Amshebhyaha. From the Rajasic aspect of these five elements, these sense organs are born. Then he comes to Prana. So we go to topic number 77. Vayavaha Pranapana.
Vayavyaha prana pranya
Dhyana Udana Samanaha.
Dhyana umana samadana.
So we go quickly through all this because we have already done this in great detail in Tattvabodha. So Vayavaha means the Panchapranas. What are they? Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. So this particular topic number 77 just gives the names. Vayavaha means the Vayus, the Panchavayus. They are Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. The Panchavayus are just named over here in this particular topic. And you will find that in the coming topics, we find something which we have not found in Tattvabodha. What is that? The definitions of each of the pranas is given in detail. Though when we did Tattvabodha, we talked about the definitions. You will find that Tattvabodha itself does not carry the definitions, and therefore those definitions have been borrowed from this text. We have borrowed from here, though we didn't tell you about this text earlier. We borrowed from this text. So topic number 78. Prano nama
Prano nama
Aggamanavan Aggamanavan
Agmavanavan
Nasagrasthan Varti
Nasagrasthan
Nasagrasthanavarti
Nasagrasthanavarti.
So you will find that the definition of prana is being given. Okay, now again I'll remind you that when you do Yoga Shastra, in most yoga texts, prana is defined as inhalation, but the Vedantic definition, including that in Bhagavad Gita, when we talked about this, we said prana is exhalation. That definition comes from this scripture. Okay, so Prak Gamanavan. Prak Gamanavan means that which goes out, that which goes up. So exhalation. Prak Gamanavan, that Vayu, that prana which goes out, where Nasa Agra Sthana Varti. So that is the full word has to, compound word has to be broken up. Nasa, Agra, Sthana, Varti. Varti means the location or the locus. So Prak Gamanavan, that Vayu which goes out, where is it located? Varti, where is it located? Nasa Agra Sthanam. So Nasa Agra means tip of the nose. Agra is the outer part, the tip. Nasa is the nose. So Nasa Agra means the tip of the nose, the nostrils, and Sthanam. That is the place, Varti, where this Vayu is located. So Prana is the exhalation which we do. The Vayu, when you say Pranaha, it doesn't refer to inhalation. It refers to the exhalation, and the locus, the exhalation is located at the tip of the nostril. Nasa Agrasthana. Varti is the location. So having defined Prana, in the next topic 79, he comes to Apana. Now we will read that. Apano Nama
Apano nama
Avaggamanavan
Avagnamagavan
Payavadisthanavarti.
Kaya Vyastanavarti.
So, Avak Gamanavan. Avak means downwards. Gamanam is to go. Avak Gamanavan, that Vayu which moves downwards, Apano Namaha is called Apanaha. Okay. Now we should remember that Apana has two functions. What are they? Tattvavoda
Excretion.
is one.
Inhalation. No, when the body, subtle body leaves the gross body, that time it helps.
We will come to that. So first, when the digested food has to be pushed down, okay, so that is for the excretion. This is also called apanaha. And he says, where is the locus? So you have to break that word carefully. Payu adi sthanavarti. Payu here adi. What does adi mean in payu, etc.? Payu, etc. means what? Come on. Apana has two functions, right?
Upastha.
Yes, Payu Adi means Payu Upastha. Okay, the anus as well as the organ of reproduction. So Payu Adi means that, Sthanavarti means is located there. So as you know, this Apana has two meanings, and the applicable meaning we'll have to take it from the usage, from the context. So one is the downward motion of excretion, that is called Apana. Also, inhalation is called Apana. Right, because we said Avak Gamanavan Vayu Apana. So inhalation is called Apana because we saw earlier that exhalation was called Prana, and we also said that when there is excretion to be done, because we are saying that Payu Adi Sthanam is located at the anus, therefore and the Upastha. So whenever the excreta, that is the solid excreta and the liquid excreta is being pushed out, it is either through the Payu or through the Upastha. So that is also one more function. So two functions are there, inhalation and removal of waste. Both are the functions of Apana. And that is why when the word Apana is used in Shastram, you have to look at the context to see whether it is inhalation or to see whether it's talking about the excretory function. I hope that is clear, right? These are all very detailed discussions which you don't find in Tattvabodha. And all that we saw there is being taken from here. Then topic number 80 we'll go to. They're all one line definitions. And we are already familiar with them. So we'll go quickly over that. Vyano nama
Vyano nama
Vishwagamanavan
Vishwagnamanavan
Akhila Shariravarti.
Akhila Shariravarti.
So, Akhila Shariravarti. Akhila Shariram means entire body. Akhilam Shariram, the entire body, all over the body. Varti, it is located. The location of the Vyana Prana is all over the body. How is that? Vishwa, Vishvak Gamanavan. Vishvak means all over. Gamanavan is a movement. So that Vayu, which is Vishvak Gamanavan, which moves all over the body, and therefore Varti, because it moves all over the body, therefore Varti is the locus, the location. Therefore, Akhila Sharira Varti. Therefore, it is found all over the body. What is the function? It's not given here, but we know from Tattvabodha what is the function of Vyana?
Circulatory.
Circulation of blood and circulation of nutrients. So, what is it called? Vyano Nama. That particular prana is called Vyano. So Vyanam. Then we go to topic number 81. So, Udano Nama.
Udano nama
Kanthasthaniya.
Kanthasthaniya.
Hastaniya
Urdhvagamanavan.
Urdhvagamanavan.
Urdhvagamanavan
Utkramanavayuhu.
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 So here we have to be careful. Urdha Gamanavan, that Vayu which moves upwards. Okay. Now here you should not confuse it with what? Prana. Prana also we said is exhalation, Vayu moving upwards. But prana has already been discussed and therefore this cannot be taken as prana. So it has to be taken as Vayu moving upwards, different from prana. And then we know what does it do. At specific times it operates. This very specifically, Udana operates only at 2 times during a lifetime. 2 occasions during lifetime. What are they?
When we die, to help the consciousness to be expelled from the body?
Consciousness to be expelled? Please.
No.
Subtle body.
No. The
Subtle
astral body,
body.
yes, sorry.
Subtle body. Okay. In
Yes.
Vedanta, since we deal in words, consciousness can never be expelled. Why?
Because is what we are.
All-pervading everything.
Please remember that consciousness is all over. It is nowhere to be expelled to. Okay. So one is when you die, subtle body is thrown out. That is one. And the other occasion is when?
Vomiting, emergency.
Emergency. So wherever you're taken something bad food, some poison, it has to be thrown out from the body. So vomiting. And that is meant by utkramanam. Utkramanam means throwing out or getting out. So utkramana vayuhu, where there's 2 specific occasions. One is when you have had something which needs to be expelled from the body. So vomiting when bad food has been taken. The other utkramanam is to carry the sukshma shariram out of the physical body at the time of the death of the physical body. Okay. The second function is triggered only at the end of your prarabdha karma. When the prarabdha karma of the physical body is over, the physical body is not required anymore because the karma is over, right? The physical body is the very instrument by which the karma is experienced. And when karma is over, there is nothing to experience, and therefore the physical body is not needed. That is called death. When the Sukshma Shariram leaves or is thrown out, it is called death. So Udana operates during the time of the death of the physical body, also when some poison or something needs to be expelled from the body, like vomiting. And Kanthasthaniya, Udana, the location is in the throat. Kantham is the throat. So remember, both functions, vomiting is also Utkramanam, and the expulsion of the Sukshma Shariram is also Utkramanam. You will find this word Utkramanam, Utkranti, or etc. in the Upanishads. They refer to this particular function. Then we go to number 82. Samano Nama.
Samano nama
Sharira Madhyagata.
Sharira madhyagata
Ashita Pitannadi.
Ashita Pashipata Vinahi
Samikarana Karaha.
Samikarana Karaha
So samana, that vayu is called samana. What does it do? Samikarana karaha. Samikaranam is digestion. So samikaranam karaha here means that which helps or that which assists with. So samikarana karaha, that vayu which processes the food. So the food that we have eaten, it can be vegetables, it can be chapatis, it can be rice, it can be dosha, it can be pizzas. They are all processed in your stomach and they are converted into various nutrients which the body needs, your carbohydrates, your proteins, your fat, etc. with the help of all the digestive enzymes. This process of conversion of the annam, of the food, into the nutrients which the body needs, we call it digestion. In Sanskrit, it is called Samikarana Karaha. Samikarana Karaha is that vayu which helps Samikaranam, digestion. And what are they? He says Annadi. What are the food which you eat? After having said Samikarana Karaha, that which processes the food. What is the type of food? Annadi, grains. Like what? Like, and what is the, normal grains can be anything, rice, wheat, whatever. And how are they consumed? This consumption can be in two forms, either in solid form like chapati or rice, or in liquid form, water and soup and stuff like that. So Ashita refers to that food, annam, which is consumed as in the solid form. And Pita represents that food which is consumed in the liquid form. And Sharira Madhyagataha, both types of food, the solid and the liquid food, Sharira Madhyagata, go to the middle of the body. Sharira Madhyam means middle of the body. So all the food which you eat, Annadi, whether it be solid or liquid, they are finally delivered to Sharira Madhyam, the middle of the body, which is the stomach. Right? Stomach is the middle of the body. So here Sharira Madhyam means stomach, also called Udaram in Sanskrit. And therefore, where is the location? The location has to be in the stomach only. Samana is located in the stomach. Okay. Now, topic number 83. He has introduced the word Samikarana, right? Not found in Tattva-bodha. And therefore, since this is a commentary on Tattva-bodha, an expansion of Tattva-bodha, it is mandated that the author should explain the word. So he explains in topic number 83. Samikaranatu
Samikaranatu
Paripakakaranam
Paripakakaranam
Rasarudhira
Rasadurendra
Shukrapurishadi
Sukrapuri Shari
Karanamiti Yavat.
Karamidyaravata.
So Karanantu. What is meant by Samikaranan? He says Samikaranan is equal to Paripaka Karanam. Paripakam literal meaning is cookie. What is the contextual meaning? Digesting. And in this Paripaka Karanam, in the process of Samikaranam, the process of digestion, what is produced from the annam, from the food? He gives a list, a small list. Rasa. Now, rasa means various nutrients, carbohydrates, etc. Rudhira. Rudhira is the ovum, the female egg. It's considered to be one of the most refined products in the body. Why? Because it's responsible for the birth of a child. Shukra. So Rudhira is ovum, female egg. Shukra is semen, male egg, also considered to be a refined product of the body. Having talked about refined products, he says Puri Shadi, excreta, etc. Okay. So this, remember, Samikaranam is producing of the waste, excreta, that is excreta and urine, all that is produced. And separating the waste is the job of which vayu? Samana vayu. Separating the waste is this not the job of Samana vayu. Producing the waste is the job of Samana vayu. Separating or disposal of that waste is the job of which vayu?
Apana.
Apanavayu. So that is carefully understood. Samana produces the waste, which means it separates the waste from the food which is nourishing. After having digested the food, having pulled out all the nutrients required, what is left is the waste. So that is the job of Samana. But disposing of that waste is Apana's job. And Karanam iti yavat. So he says that is the process, that is the instrument which processes the entire process of digestion and separation of waste. That is called Samikaranam. Karanam iti yavat. That is the process of Samikaranam. Then topic number 84. Kechittu
Kechittu
Nagakurma
Nagakurma
Krikala
Krikala
Tikala
Devadatta Dhananjayakyaha
Devadatta
Devadattadanjakyaha
Dhananjayaha
Panchanyevayavaha
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 Santiti Vadanti.
Santiti
Santiti Vadanti.
Vadanti.
So he talks about some other schools, Kechittu, but there are other schools of thought, other darshanas are there. And here he's talking about the Sankhya Darshana, not about Vedantic Darshana. Okay. So in Vedanta, we classify prana as 5, which we have just seen. But in other schools, for example, Kechittu, other schools of thought, what do? Vadanti, they say, Kechittu Vadanti. Other schools of thought say that Panchani Anya Panchavayavaha Santi iti. The schools of thought, they say that there are 5 more Anya Panchaha Vayavaha, 5 more pranas Santi existing iti. This is the way they talk. So other schools of thought, and by that he is referring to Sankhya school, they say that in addition to the 5 pranas which we have talked about in the earlier topics, there are 5 more pranas. And what are they? Naga, Kurma, Krikala, Devadatta, Dhananjaya. Are you familiar with these names?
Yes, Acharya. In
Mm.
yoga.
Where did we see that?
Some of the names are of Arjuna.
Okay, they are called subsidiary pranas. Okay, so Akhyaha means they are called Naga, Kurma, Krikala, Devadatta, Dhananjaya. Okay, what are the functions? We will see from the next topic onwards. So topic number 85. We are going quickly because most of you are already familiar with all this. Tatra Naga
Tatra
Tatra
Naga
Naga
Giranakaraha
Ugyanakaraha
Giranakaraha.
Udgriyanakaraha.
It is actually half the. So Udgiranakaraha, Udgiranakaraha,
Udgirana
Udgirayanakaraha.
Kurma Unmilanakaraha,
Kurma
Kurma
Unmilana Karaha
Udgiviranakaraha.
Krikalaha Shutkaraha,
Krikala
Kalaha Shuklayaha.
Shutkaraha
Devadatto Jrambhanakaraha,
Devadatto
Devanatom Prajanakaraha.
Brahmanakaraha
Dhananjaya Poshanakaraha.
Ananjana
Dhananjaya Poshana.
Poshayakaraha.
So Tatra means among those pranas which we have named in the last topic, among those 5 subsidiary pranas, what are the functions? Nagaha, Udgirana Karaha. So the suffix Karaha, you will find all the names. Karaha means it does the job of. So Udgiranam is vomiting. So Nagaha, Udgirana Karaha expels the food. Vomiting is the function of the Naga Karma. Then Kurma, Unmilana Karaha. What is Unmilam? You should remember from Bhagavad Gita. We have used the word in Bhagavad Gita. No? Okay. Unmilana is winking of the eye. So kurma unmilanakaraha. It is the winking of the opening and shutting of the eyelids. That is the job of kurma prana. Okay. Remember, it is not a voluntary, action. It's part of the autonomous nervous system. We don't have to remember, while we can deliberately wink also, you don't have to remember to do that. Automatically, your eyelids open and close so that the eye keeps getting hydrated. That is the job of kurma prana. Then kriklaha, shutkaraha. So shut has two meanings. One is sneezing. One is a sneeze which you do. And the other is shut also has the meaning of hunger. So either of these meanings can be taken. Krikala prana has the job of producing the sneeze whenever there's irritation. Also, it has the job of producing hunger when there is no food in your body. So either meaning can be taken. The next one, Devadattaha Jrimbhanakaraha. Literally meaning, Jrimbhanam literally means opening the mouth. Okay. But in this context, you have to take it as yawning. So Devadatta Jrimbhanakaraha. Devadatta is responsible for the job of yawning. And Dhananjaya Poshanakaraha. Poshanam is, of course, common word. Nourishment. Dhananjaya Prana is responsible for providing nourishment to all parts of the body. Okay. Any questions so far? Yeah.
Acharya, I have two questions.
Yes.
So the first one is, these subsidiary pranas are like subdivisions of the main pranas, or are
Park that
different
question.
from the
Park that question. But the simple answer is Vedanta takes it as 5 pranas. Sankhya takes it as 10 pranas.
So for Vedantas, these
We take 5.
subsidiary
We take
pranas.
one. No, that question I'll park for the time being. You will come to know about the next topic. But the difference why 5 and 5, 10 is that Vedanta Dasanam takes 5 pranas, while Sankhya Dasanam takes 10 pranas. Names 10 pranas.
Okay. And the second question was, when we were talking about the food,
Yeah.
I remember somewhere, I guess in the Bhagavad Gita, it was say that eating food after 4 hours of cook is not good.
Yeah.
But does it like still applies for our times? I remember like you mentioned, like there was no refrigerator in those times.
That's only an interpretation. Strictly in connection with the Shastram says that after so many hours, 3 hours or so, food is not fit for eating.
Okay.
Okay, so obviously it hasn't taken into consideration fridges and deep freezers and all those things. But still, old food is not a great idea anyway. Even if it is frozen, even if it is in the fridge. Old food is not good. And in most traditional houses, you will find food is cooked every day. There's another reason for that is before you offer food to yourself, traditionally you are supposed to offer it to the Lord. You can't offer old food from the fridge to the Lord. And therefore, before you have breakfast also, you should cook breakfast freshly. That's the traditional way of doing it.
Thank you.
Okay. Now look at topic 86. This will answer your question, June. So it's Etesham pranadishu.
Tesham pranadishu.
Antarbhavat pranadayaha.
Antranat pranabhavayaha.
Panchaiveti kechit. So he says kechit, some other darshanas, and this refers to Vedanta darshana, pancha vayu iti, except only pancha pranas. Why? Because they say etesham pranadishu, the function of the additional 5 pranas you talked about, antarbhava pranadaha, is already mixed up in the work being done by the pancha prana, which is talked about in Vedanta. Therefore, for example, if you want to take Udgikarana, vomiting. What did we say? Naga prana. But in Pancha prana, vomiting comes under what? Udana prana. And therefore, Udgikarana is already included in Udana. Right? Similarly, Unmilana karana, winking, is the job from the Pancha prana point of view is done by Vyana. Therefore, Kurma prana is the job of Vyana. Similarly, Shutkaraha, hunger is a part of Samana prana. Therefore, Krikalaha prana is part of Samana prana. Similarly, the other ones. Jrambhanakaraha can be taken as part of Apana. Poshanakara can be taken as part of prana itself. So, Dhananjaya is part of prana. Devadatta is part of Apana. And therefore, some others, Kechit here means some other darshanas, which is Vedanta darshanam, they accept only Pancha prana. Now, this is the logical answer, right, to the Sankhyas. When Sankhya says that we have 10 prana, Vedantins will say that actually that 5 which you say, they are superfluous names because they are already included in the Pancha pranas which we talk about. This is the logical answer. But in Shastram, we always talk about logic as well as Shruti Pramanam, right? Vedanta Pramanam. So he quotes, there is a Vedanta Pramanam in Upanishad called Brihadaranyaka. He says, Esha hi na prano pano vyana udana samana. So the Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka, it quotes pranas as being only 5. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. So, 2 answers can be given. One is the logical answer which is presented in this particular topic. Etesham pranadishu antarbhavat pranadayaha. That is the logical answer. The Shruti answer is that it is also talked about in the Upanishads as 5 pranas only. And therefore, O Sankhyas, you are unnecessarily increasing the number of pranas. They are already included. The job is already being done by the Pancha pranas which we are talking about. Okay. Now the question is, having discussed Pancha pranas, what are the gunas which contribute to the birth of the pranas? So that topic number 87 deals with. So, etat pranadi panchakam.
Etat pranadi panchakam.
एतत् प्राणादिपञ्चकम्
Akashadigata rajomshabhya
Dosha
rajomshebhya
रजोंशेभ्य
milittebhya utpadyate.
मिलितेभ्य
Upadyate.
So he's talking about how the pranas are born. Etat pranadi panchakam utpadyate. These 5 pranas are born. How? Akashadigata rajo amshabhya. From the rajogunas, the rajasic aspects of akasha, etc. Right? And akasha, etc. So what about it? Milittebhya. The total rajogunas of all the pancha mahabhutanis. That is it is not the individual rajoguna of the individual element which is giving rise to pancha pranas. Why? Because the individual rajogunas give rise to what?
the कर्मेंद्रिय
Karmendriyas. And therefore, that is why he uses the word milittebhya here. The mixture from the mixed aspect, from the total aspect, total rajasic aspect of all the 5 elements mixed together. So, milittebhya means mixed together. Therefore, akashadigata rajo amshebhya. From the total rajasic aspect of the 5 elements mixed together, milittebhya. So we call it samashti rajogunaha. Right? Why does prana have to have the mixture of all the elements? Because prana has to function behind each one of the karmendriyas. All the karmendriyas are born from individual rajagunaha, but prana as such is the functioning power behind each karmendriya, and therefore prana has to have the power of all the karmendriyas in it. Therefore, mixture. So prana needs samashti rajoguna, while the karmendriyas need individual rajoguna. And that is why pranic healing, what they call, focuses on prana. So they say healthy prana leads to good physical health. Kundalini yoga also talks about prana shakti. Reiki also talks about prana shakti. Chakra meditation also talks about prana shakti. So healthy pranamaya kosha necessary for healthy manomaya kosha, necessary for healthy vijnanamaya kosha. In short, a healthy prana leads to a healthy body and healthy mind. Of course, you must remember that yogic texts, they present Kundalini yoga as a means to moksha, with which the Vedantin does not agree, because there is no jnanam involved over there. That one caveat we must always remember. Okay. Now, topic number 88.
Om Acharya.
Yes, please.
Indra here. Acharya, so usually these chakra meditations, people say that, the Kundalini rising up to Sahasrara is where the person realizes his true nature. So what would you say on that?
I don't say anything, but we say, what is the only way of getting moksha?
Jnanam.
Jnanam. And if you take a Kundalini all the way up to Sahasrara Chakra, are you studying any scriptures?
No.
Then where is the question of moksha? So we say that from the Vedantic point of view, only jnanam can lead to moksha. Anything else, any of the other sadhanas presented, they are only a means to chitta shuddhi. So your chakra meditation, chitta shuddhi. Reiki, chitta shuddhi. Kundalini yoga, chitta shuddhi. Everything is chitta shuddhi. Jnanam alone will give you moksha. And this point you must drive it into your head. Because the more you read about, all these other darshanas, they will all confuse you, because they all talk about moksha as the ultimate aim. None of them can give you moksha, because none of them give you jnana. Okay.
Thank you.
Topic number 88. Idam pranadi panchakam.
Idam
pranadi
pranadipanchakam
Karmendrai sahitam sat.
Indriya satyam satam
Pranamaya kosho bhavati.
pranamaya kosho bhavati
Bhavati
Asya kriyatmakatvena.
asya
Asyatmatvena
Rajomsha karyatvam.
karyatvam.
So he says, idam pranadi panchakam. These 5 pranas, prana, etc. Karmendrai sahitam sat. If they are taken together with the karmendriyas, pranamaya koshaha bhavati is called the pranamaya koshaha. So the definition of pranamaya kosha is given here. Pancha pranas plus karmendriyas is called pranamaya kosha. And what is the proof that prana is born from Rajoguna? He says asya kriyatmakatvena, because of its nature of being active, because of the fact that prana is required for activity. Rajoamsha karyatvam. We say that it is a product of Rajoguna only, because Rajoguna is that which contributes to activity. So both things are mentioned here. Prana plus karmendriya, pancha prana plus karmendriya is called pranamaya kosha, and pranamaya kosha means born from Rajoguna. Both are born from Rajoguna. Remember, the karmendriyas and the pranas are born from Rajoguna. What is the difference?
One is individual, one is combination.
One is born from individual Rajoguna, one is born from samashti Rajoguna. That must remember. Okay, now we go to topic number 89. Eteshu kosheshu madhye
एतेषु
Eshu
कोशेषु मध्ये
Koseshu Madhye
विज्ञानमयो ज्ञानशक्तिमान् कर्तृरूपः
विज्ञानमयो
ज्ञानमयो ज्ञानशक्तिमान्
ज्ञानशक्तिमान्
कर्तृरूपः
मनोमय इच्छाशक्तिमान् करणरूपः
मनोमय
Mayomaya
मनोमय
Ichana
इच्छाशक्तिमान् करणरूपः
प्राणमय क्रियाशक्तिमान् कार्यरूपः
प्राणमय
प्राणमय
क्रियाशक्तिमान्
क्रियाशक्तिमान्
कार्यरूपः
कार्यरूपः
योग्यत्वात् एवम् एतेषां विभाग इति वर्णयन्ति
योग्यत्वात्
योग्यत्वादेवम् एतेषां विभाग इति वर्णयन्ति
एतत् कोशत्रयं मिलितं सत्
एतत्
कोशत्रयं मिलितं तत्
सूक्ष्मशरीरमित्युच्यते
Sukshma
शरीरम्
Shariryamitयुच्यते.
इत्युच्यते
So we have defined Panchapranas, we have defined Karmendriyas, we have defined Jnanendriyas, and we have defined Antakarna. 17 components have been defined. Okay, not 19, we have defined 17 so far. And these 17 components are part of Sukshma Shariram, and Sukshma Shariram is also divided into 3 koshas. What are they? Those being now talked about. What is the significance of these koshas? Right? They represent, the 3 koshas are classified in such a manner because they represent the 3 main Shakti, the 3 main power that we use in our daily activity. So he says, Eteshu kosheshu madhye, among these koshas, Vijnanamaya koshaha, Jnana Shaktiman Kartrurupaha. So among the koshas, Eteshu kosheshu madhye, among these koshas, Vijnanamaya kosha possesses Jnana Shakti, Jnana Shaktiman, possesses Jnana Shakti and is Kartrurupaha, is also in the form of the Karta. Right? It has the identification that I am the Karta, Kartru Aham. That Karta identification comes from Vijnanamaya Kosha. So he says, it is the Jnana Shaktiman, it possesses Jnana Shakti, and therefore it is because of the Jnana Shakti that I say I am. I am doing this, I am doing that, I am the doer of this, I am the doer of that. So this identification with the body-mind complex which we have, it starts at the Vijnanamaya level, Vijnanamaya Kosha level. This is the Kosha which concludes that Aham Karta, I am the Karta. And therefore, this I Vritti, Aham Vritti as we called it, I Vritti, I thought, is the Kartru Rupa which is defined over here. Kartru Rupa means the I thought. In the thought of I am doing this, I am doing that, I am the doer. That conclusion comes from Vijnanamaya Kosha. That is the meaning of that one sentence. Then we look at Manomaya Kosha. So he says Manomaya Ichha Shaktiman Karana Rupa. Manomaya Kosha has Ichha Shakti, the power to desire. Okay. And therefore it is called Karana Rupa, the instrument. Karanam means instrument. So here you have to be careful. Karanam and Karanam are 2 different things. Karanam is cause, Karanam is instrument. So Manomaya Kosha has Ichha Shakti, which makes it the Karanam, the instrument. And that instrument is what? The mind. Because the mind has Idam Vritti. And as we saw in a few other texts, the Idam Vritti, this thought, this Idam Vritti is what? Object thought. This is a glass, this is a flower, this is so and so, this is a table, this is a chair. All these are called Idam Vrittis, where the word Idam is object, any object thought. And how does this operate? The Idam Vritti flows out through the relative Indriya. For example, if you are seeing something, Shastra says that if you're looking at the rose, then the idam vritti flows out of your eyes. It envelops the rose, the object seen. It assumes that form of the rose, and then at the same time, the consciousness pervades that vritti, and because of that, that object is recognized as a rose. So that is the way in which Shastra explains knowledge, perception. And these thoughts are the instrument, are the karanam, the instrument for contacting the world. Therefore, he says, idam vritti is karana rupa. It is in the form of the thought which contacts the world. And pranamaya kriya shaktiman karya rupa. Pranamaya has kriya shakti also. And therefore, it is called the karya atma. It's in the form of being the product of the kriya shakti. And yogyatvat evam etesham vibhaga iti varnyanti. So, etesham vibhaga, this classification, evam yogyatvat varnayanti. This classification is based upon explaining why this classification is given like this. This classification is based upon the yogyatvat, yogyata, appropriateness of this division. Vibhaga yogyatvat, upon the appropriateness of this division, which is what? The Shakti of Jnanam, Shakti of Ichha, and Shakti of Kriya. And if you look at it from another angle, this Jnana Shakti can be called Karta, Ichha Shakti can be called Karana, instrument, and Kriya Shakti can be called Karyam, the product. Right? So Vijnanamaya Kosha is Karta, Manomaya Kosha is Karanam, Pranamaya Kosha is Karyam. And Etat Koshatrayam Militam Sat, these three koshas, Etat Koshatrayam Militam Sat, these three koshas put together, Sukshma Shariram Uchyate, is called the Sukshma Shariram. Okay. Any questions? All very technical. I hope you are getting it. If you look at this and read the Tattvaboda again, in connection with this, it will be much easier. That's why I said, try to read Tattvaboda before you come to this class. Okay, that is the last topic for the day, topic number 90. Atrapi akhila sukshma shariram.
Atrapti akhila sukshma shariram.
Eka buddhi vishayataya.
Eka buddhi vishayataha.
Vanavad jalashaya vadva. Samashti aneka buddhi.
Samashti aneka buddhi.
Vishayataya vrikshavad jalavadva.
Visharataya.
It is jalavadva.
Jalavadva.
Vyashthirapi bhavati.
Yashthirapi bhavati.
Okay. Atrapi. Atra api. In this regard. Akhila sukshma shariram. Akhila sukshma shariram. If you take all subtle bodies together, akhila sukshma shariram, all subtle bodies together, if you take eka buddhi vishayataya and view them as one consolidated entity, right? He's saying take all the subtle bodies in the universe and think of them as one entity. What does it become? Samashtihi. Samashti sukshma shariram. Otherwise called Hiranyagarbha. And he gives the example. Vanavat jalashaya vadva. It is like you are seeing the trees, you have as one forest. You have two ways, seeing them as individually as trees, and then you will call them, there are 1,000 trees. Or you will look at the whole things together, all the 1,000 trees as one, So that's what he says, Akhila Shukshma Shariram. Take all the bodies as one and look at them as one entity. If you look at all the trees as one entity, what will you see? One forest. Similarly, all the waves you can look at individually and call it Jala, or you can put them all together and you call it Jalashaya. You can call it Jalashaya also. The ocean you can call it. Okay. So one of the example he is giving for that. And then he gives in more explanation. He says, Aneka buddhi vishayataya, supposing you look at them separately, what will happen? Vyashtirapi bhavati. You will see the individual, the microcosm. Therefore, vrikshavat jalavadva. So you can either see it as a forest, in which case it is one vision of the consolidated whole, or you can see it as multiple vrikshavat, multiple trees, where it is individual vision, or multiple jalavatva, or individual waves. So he's saying it is only a question of how you see. If you look at them all individually, you will see multiplicity. If you put them all together and look at them as one, then what will you see? You will see only non-duality. Only one is there. So with this, we'll stop for the day. Any questions?
Om Raviji.
Yes,
This
Vedanta.
forest tree example we have also read earlier.
Yeah.
So is this to emphasize the oneness of the universe, and is that the reason why it's coming again and again?
It is to emphasize it's only a question of vision. You can choose to see in a multiplicity. You can choose to see non-duality.
Oneness.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Acharya.
Yes, Shweta.
Yes, sir. In the previous verse, how has this been?
You are not audible, Shweta.
Sorry. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in the previous verse, how Manomaya Kosha being the Karna Rupa, and in the Pranamaya Kosha, the Kriya Rupa. I'm a little confused about this. Can you explain a little bit again, please?
Which is the instrument of doing anything? See, there are two things: knowledge, desire, and action. Knowledge of some, you cannot, for example, let us take, you are walking in the street and you see some strawberry ice cream. Okay. Where does that knowledge take place? Vijnanamaya kosha. So that is the karta. Then the mind tells you that, okay, let me get the ice cream. That is the karanam, the instrument. Because the mind is the instrument which contacts the external world, which goes to the shop. It's the mind which takes you to the shop. So the instrument of contacting the external world is a karanam. And the action is required from what? Your hands have to go and take the money out of your pocket and give it to that person. So the actual the instrument is karanam, is the mind. But the sense organ which does it, that is the pranamaya kosha. Karmendriyas are there in the pranamaya kosha. And therefore that is the kriya. The karyam is there.
Clear, sir. Thank you.
Om sir.
Yes, Pooja.
Sir, prana, the prana has been mentioned that it is felt in the tip of the nose, the exhalation you talked about. So, is it felt at the tip of the nose? It is basically gone out from there. Like it doesn't stay there, right?
So this Shastra saying the location is there. Prana location is at the tip of the nose, not being felt. Felt, of course, you feel it. But the location of the prana is, each prana has to be allocated location, right? And therefore, this Shastra says prana is located at the end of the nose. So we accept that because we have no way of proving or disproving. Because Shastra says it, we say okay.
Okay, sir.
You can dispute it, but you have to logically disprove it, which you cannot. Neither can you logically prove it. That is where most of Shastra statements, they can have logical support. So logical support here is, where can you feel it? Only at the end of the nose. But that is not a proof, nor can you disprove it that way.
Because the rest of the apana, samana, they can be proved. I mean, we can
Oh,
understand it.
you cannot prove it. It's a statement of the Shastra which you accept.
Okay. Okay.
Logical support can be given, which is not proving. Logical support is by way of logical support. Yes, it is not illogical. When you say logical support is there, it means you're making a statement that there is no illogical aspect of it. But that is not the same as providing a logical proof. That is why for us Vedantics, Shastra Pramanam is primary and logic is only secondary in support.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Okay, so with this we'll stop. Thank you for your patience. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat. Om Namah Shivaya. Thank you for your patience.
So much, sir.
Very much.